Would you all please be seated? Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you all to Backhouse Hall, which has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriages. This is a very special day for Stephen and Yvonne, and it is good to see you all here today to join in their celebrations. But you will also be taking part in today's ceremony by listening to and witnessing the two legal declarations which must be made by the bride and groom. Stephen and Yvonne will begin by declaring that they are free to be married to one another. And then at the moment of the marriage itself, they will make a marriage contract with each other, taking each other to be husband and wife. You, Stephen, and you, Yvonne, are now about to marry each other in accordance with the law, in my presence and in the presence of the witnesses here assembled. If any person here present knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, then he or she should declare it now. Through the vows that are being made today, Stephen and Yvonne are making a commitment to each other for the rest of their lives. Marriage is not always an easy path. It requires love, the ability to listen to one another, the wisdom to know when we are wrong, and the strength to put things right. For Stephen and Yvonne, getting married today is a proud confirmation of the love, respect, and true friendship that they have for each other. Together, they will be stronger to meet whatever life holds for them. Stephen and Yvonne, today you will exchange vows that will unite you as husband and wife. The words are a formal and public pledge of your love and a promise of lifelong dedication to each other. Now, Stephen and Yvonne have chosen to have a reading at today's ceremony. I would now like to ask Michael to step forward. Would you come and take my place, Michael? In your own time.
This gives me great pleasure. The reading Yvonne's requested today is The Owl and the Pussycat. And it's a strange choice because sometimes Edward Lear is regarded as a nonsense poet. And yet, in this century, we've taken him to have a lot of meaning behind the words. And although the characters in the poem are nonsensical, the poem itself has a very, very solid groundings and meanings. So with your permission. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a £5 note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. Oh lovely pussy, oh pussy my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are, you are, what a beautiful pussy you are. Pussy said to the owl, you elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Let us be married, too long have we tarried, but what shall we do for a ring? They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. And there, in a wood, a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose. His nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? Said Piggy. I will. So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand, on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon. The moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. Thank you.
Round of applause, I think, Michael. Stephen, is your full name Stephen Edward Lister?
Yes.
And Yvonne, is your full name Yvonne Reed? Before you are joined in matrimony today, I have to remind you of the solemn and binding character of the vows you are about to make. Marriage, according to the law of this country, is the union of one man with one woman, voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. I am now going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you do not know of any lawful reason why you may not be married to each other. So Stephen, if you can begin by saying these words after me. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare
That I know not.
that I know not
Of any lawful impediment.
of any lawful impediment
Why I, Stephen Edward Lister.
why I, Stephen Edward Lister,
May not be joined in matrimony.
may not be joined in matrimony
To Yvonne Reed.
to Yvonne Reed.
Thank you. Now Yvonne, if you can say these words also. I do solemnly declare.
I do solemnly declare
That I know not.
that I know not
Of any lawful impediment.
of any lawful impediment
Why I, Yvonne Reed.
why I, Yvonne Reed,
May not be joined in matrimony.
may not be joined in matrimony
To Stephen Edward Lister.
to Stephen Edward Lister.
And now the solemn moment has come for these two persons to contract their marriage before you, their witnesses. Would you all please stand? Now, if you can come and stand next to Yvonne, please, Christopher. And if you've got Stephen with the rings, just pop round there. Have them ready for me. So Stephen and Yvonne, I am now going to ask each of you in turn to make your next declaration. This is your vow and contract to your marriage. But first, if I may ask, who is giving the bride away today?
Myself,
Thank you.
Christopher, father.
Now, can we have Yvonne's ring first, and will you pass that to Stephen? And then can you turn to face each other? And Stephen, will you place that ring on the third finger of Yvonne's left hand? If you slide that on. Bit of wiggle. Now, if you keep holding your hand, Stephen, and can you say these words to Yvonne? I give this ring
I give this ring
as a token of my love
as a token of my love
and as a reminder
and as a reminder
of our marriage vows.
of our marriage vows.
And I call upon these persons
And I call upon these persons
here present to witness that I, Stephen Edward Lister,
to witness that I, Stephen Edward Lister,
do take thee, Yvonne Reed,
do take thee, Yvonne Reed,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
Thank you, Stephen. Now, if we could have the second ring, if you pass that to Yvonne. And will you now place that on the third finger of his left hand? Keep holding his hand, Yvonne. And can you say these words to Stephen? I give this ring
I give this ring
as a token of my love
as a token of my love
and as a reminder
and as a reminder
of our marriage vows.
of our marriage vows.
And I call upon these persons
And I call upon these persons
here present
here present
to witness that I, Yvonne Reed,
to witness that I, Yvonne Reed,
do take thee, Stephen Edward Lister,
do take thee, Stephen Edward Lister,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
Thank you, Yvonne. A wedding ring is the ancient and traditional way of sealing the contract that you have just made. It is an unbroken circle which symbolises unending and everlasting love and is the outward sign of the lifelong promise you have made to each other today. As the guests would all take a seat again, please. Stephen and Yvonne, you have both now made the declarations prescribed by law and have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in in the presence of the witnesses here assembled. Let the world recognise that you are now husband and wife. May you treasure this trust and responsibility. May no failure or misfortune ever part you, and may you live full and rich lives together. And so finally, Stephen and Yvonne, it gives me great pleasure to now pronounce you husband and wife. Stephen, you may kiss your wife. The guest may congratulate you. Congratulations. And to you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you remain seated for a few more moments while we sign the marriage register, I can invite you both over to the table with Marion. If we could have our witnesses forward as well, please. Right, Yvonne, come and have a seat. This is just a pretend register. No ink in this pen. You just need to pretend you're signing. Now I'll go and get your flowers and put them on the table.
Halo Bang. Berapa lama sih? Ya video betul.
Stephen, if you could stand next to the bar. If anyone wants to come forward to take photos as well, you can. Can we have parents on each side for some photos, please? But we want to do opposite, don't we?
When do you want to go the other side?
Yeah, the other side. That's how I was thinking. There we go.
Be together. That's good.
Always do. Be careful.
Hide in the bouquet.
No accidents. It's fun. It's fun. Thank you.
Bridesmaids, do you want to come through and have your photo taken? One on each side. Do you want to go around that side? And if you go around this side, I'll move around.
Yeah,
There we go.
I've got the gorgeous bride.
Come on, look at the front. One more. Look at the camera, please. Thank you.
One with the best man in as well.
I think the best
Oh,
man.
you don't want the best man.
We'll have you lying across the table.
Yes.
Can you look at me first, if you don't mind, buddy? Can you look at me? Can you look at me again, please? One more. Right, look at over that side this time, not this side.
Right.
Right, if you want to go back to your seats for a moment. Sorry,
Looking forward to your first time.
I'm going to say we've already had 4, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So for you.
this side. Face me, so these are two Can I give you those marriage certificates? Thank you. So what I'll do is Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure, as always, to be part of someone's special occasion. And to Stephen and Yvonne, we wish you many years of happiness together in the future. And to you all, we hope that you enjoy the rest of today as well, and make sure they do too. But for now, will you all please join me in standing for our new bride and groom? When you're ready? You need to stay here.
Oh, no.
If the rest of the guests want to follow the bride and groom outside for more photos, and you're welcome to throw confetti outside.